Long, long time ago. I mean, I first met, I was with Jim Sterling, Richard Rogers, and Norman Foster. That must be, what, 40 years ago? And I was always interested in architecture, saw their early work. I think it was at Reading, I think, the first work I saw of Norman's. So we go back a long way. I mean, he's been doing literally hundreds of buildings, all of high quality, all taking into account technology, all taking into account what's good in terms of urbanism. And it's a miracle of an achievement over 50 years. A lot of the things that I've done have perhaps touched on Norman's work. I was chairman of the trustees of the National Gallery, and Norman submitted a scheme. That was when we first met seriously, I think, in professional terms. He did a wonderful scheme. He was competing against the world's greatest architects. I mean, Norman did a great scheme. And then he went on to help with the pedestrianisation of Trafalgar Square, which was carried out beautifully. I think it was 1989, another thing which you could call an artistic or architectural interest. I'd been chairman of the Pritzker Prize for Architecture, and I was in Frankfurt, in Berlin, when we gave the award to Norman, I think in 1989. And there was no discussion. We all thought he deserved it unreservedly because of the Millennium Bridge, which gave a connection between Somerset House, which now gets, I think, 2 million visitors a year. And we've got the ice skating rink, and it's a huge success. So it's gone from being undiscovered to hugely popular, and the Millennium Bridge has contributed, I think, considerably towards that. We asked him to help us with a building which had been destroyed, namely the greenhouses of the Baron Rothschild, which was about an acre big, full of orchids. It was pulled down about 70 years ago. We were thinking, what do we do on that site? And what do we do on another site, a stable site, which is, again, a great place, but a courtyard in the middle of it. And on the old greenhouse site, we thought of doing something about the future of farming. And it's a very live subject because of all the reasons I'm sure that you know, and which Norman knows much better than I do. And it was a big project for us to do on our own in two senses. One, management, because we're not experts on the future of farming. And second, that it was going to be a very big investment. And then there was the idea of having a modern intrusion in the stables, which is a 19th century building, to show the old and the new together. Look, I think both are perfectly respectable and can be creative things to do. So, you know, I find it interesting, as I've been trying to describe in the last few minutes, to complement the old with the new, and I find that a very exciting challenge. So I try to do both. I think it's compromise, don't you? I mean, I think that, of course, there are great buildings which should be preserved. Of course, there are some great buildings which shouldn't have modern intrusions. But very often it's perfectly possible to do both. And I think we're living in a time when it's quite often done. And it's added to the spirit and creativity of the world today. And Norman's played a big part in that.